Hey, welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. Hi, I'm not in private practice. I'm trying to decide if I should even consider it when I'm thinking about leaving the field. I'm so burned out and feel like I'm not doing a great job at anything in my life. I don't know what career I'd switch to, but I don't feel like I can stay at my agency. Makes me so sad to read that. First, I want to thank Therapy Notes for sponsoring Ask Allison. And if you're looking for an all in one practice management system, you need to check out Therapy Notes. It's top rated on Trustpilot. It does all the back end pieces a private practice requires: scheduling, charging, billing insurance, doing your notes, sending reminders, all that action. You can get 2 months free to check it out if you use the promo code ABUNDANT at checkout at therapynotes.com. So, my friend, and anybody else in this person's situation, you are the exact reason I started this business. A close friend was in a similar situation years and years ago. She was a really great clinician. She'd invested an extraordinary amount of time and money and energy into getting her doctorate. We worked at an agency together. She started calling out a lot. She was struggling with her health. She cried in my office more times than I could count, which was kind of a thing at this job. People cried in each other's offices a lot. A year or two later, she left the field. She quit being a therapist. She had been so good at her job. And there was a time when she really loved it. But after years of toxic agency culture, she just got worn down. And now the world has one fewer great therapist, making it a better place. At the time, I didn't realize what private practice offered. It wasn't until I was in my own full-time private practice that I felt like, oh, wow, she would have been so happy doing this. Like she would have been so effective. She would have loved her work in this kind of setting. And I don't know you like I know her. So I'm going to do my best not to project her onto you. But your question brought up all these memories of her tears and frustrations and ultimately the loss I felt for all of her potential clients when she left. Most agencies are not run with the well-being of the clinicians or even the clients in mind. They're run underfunded and with the bottom line in mind. So if we were to apply Maslow's hierarchy to most agencies out there, we're talking about that, like that very base of the triangle and maybe that next rung. And add to that the promotion of middle management, who has little say in anything structural or impactful on an organizational level and who rarely receive leadership training. Well-liked therapists with seniority and undeveloped leadership skills are put into these positions to manage and enforce things like productivity guidelines. And typically upper management isn't clinically trained and isn't even in the conversation with clinical staff. So they're looking at the funding and the responsibility that they have to their funding bodies and trying to make those things make sense. And then middle management has to enforce it. And then clinicians suffer. So it's set up to fail. Literally everyone suffers: the clients, clinicians, middle management, upper management. I don't think anyone is trying to make it hurt anyone else. It's just a system that doesn't work. So being a part of a system that doesn't work rarely feels good for anyone. So before you leave the field or you take the leap into private practice, I want you to take a stroll into what would feel like fantasy land for you. Today's free worksheet writes that out for you so you can review it on your own, because some of us have a really hard time even imagining what we would want if we could have anything we wanted. But imagine you could see your favorite kind of clients, the ones that you know you do great work with. You get plenty of time for self-care and play, and seeing clients doesn't weigh you down. You make more money than you've ever made. You work the hours that you want to work. And most weeks you're totaling less than 30 hours per week. If that kind of a scenario makes therapy feel like a great fit for you, then please stay. Heal your burnout in whatever ways work for you. That might mean taking a break from the field. It might mean busting your butt a bit more temporarily to get into private practice if you have it in you. Some of us don't at this point. We're exhausted. But please don't do anything without a plan. You need some wins. You need to feel effective. Most people starting out in private practice don't implement a plan, and it adds to helplessness. If you want help, check out the Abundance Party. You get it all laid out for you step by step, and it has an incredible community. That's at abundanceparty.com. And if you're not already in therapy, I strongly recommend it. I know it's hard to find a therapist as a therapist, but I think given given how heavy the last 2 years have been, most of us need it. Let's just admit that most of us need it. Most of us are more, somebody said to me, worn down to a nub than we've ever been in our profession. You're not alone. You're not doing it wrong. It's just hard. And if you're still passionate about helping people in this particular way through therapy, then we'd love to help you do that in a way that makes most sense for you. And if not, I'm sure that you are creative and intelligent. And once you've got some rest, you'll probably have some really great ideas for a profession outside of this field. All right, y'all. I will talk with you later. And if you have any questions for Ask Allison, please DM me over on Instagram where I'm abundance_practice_building.